What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and I'm back with part 2 of the heroic battles. In this video, we're going to be covering the battles from Mission 3 and Mission 4. So first up is Nightcrawler's heroic battle. After you successfully complete this, you get a chance at the Sonic Fist. And I don't ever remember getting this particular weapon, but I do believe it was from the Daily Spin. Seismic feedback is kind of cool, and it could be interesting, especially if you don't have too many good weapons yet. Now in this battle, Kurt, aka Nightcrawler, has to fight his own mother, Mystique. So the exchange between these two is pretty interesting. She of course wants him to join her, and he's just not willing to compromise his values. There's also another interesting dynamic. They don't really show this until after the battle, but since we have some time, I'll mention it now. And that's that Magneto mentions how Mystique is pretty upset with him, since he did join us and all. So I guess she's just kind of gone off on her own rampage. And Magneto mentioned that maybe he should have dealt with her. I'm guessing as far as the story goes, he would be a lot more brutal than Nightcrawler. So Mystique's pretty lucky to be facing her son rather than the Master of Magnetism. I found that this battle, like the first two, is pretty straightforward. I just used Nightcrawler's normal abilities, and he was able to beat Mystique no problem. Throughout the battle though, Mystique does transform into a number of the X-Men, and you'll be able to see that pretty soon right after her first attack. We were able to apply Dizzy and Bleeding, and then Mystique goes ahead and just hits us normally first. Next we're going to try his first ability, Ambush. And that's going to apply another bleed stack and cause hemorrhage. Then we gain a follow-up attack and do the same thing, so bleed and hemorrhage once again. Now we see Mystique make her way shifting through several X-Men, and she decides to go with Wolverine. On Nightcrawler's turn, we're going to use Triple Threat again since it is off cooldown, and we'll see how much damage it does. Another option would be to start this battle off with Nightcrawler's level 9 and place a number of debuffs on the opponent before you go into his other moves. It may help you get some more follow-up attacks for one. Now Mystique is shifting once again, and she lands on Emma Frost. Then she uses War Diamond, which is going to stun us. Luckily we have a lot of bleed stacks, and they're ticking off every time at the beginning of the turn, as well as after she attacks. So one more hit's going to do it, and that'll be the end of this first heroic battle, the one from Mission 3. Now as we conclude the battle, we're going to go ahead and go to the roulette wheel once again, and we are going to try to get that seismic weapon. So let's see if we can get the Sonic Fist. Instead we get one command point, and I believe we've gotten that every single heroic battle so far. After that spin, you can see how Nightcrawler feels about facing his mother, and Professor X goes ahead and talks to him. Then you're going to see Magneto come in with some dialogue, just as I was talking about. But the second battle that is coming up very shortly here is going to be the heroic battle with Spider-Woman, and this one has a definite tip or trick to beating it. So if you aren't familiar with that, I'm going to show you exactly how to handle this encounter. First off, you're going to need to have Spider-Woman at level 9 or above. You need her level 9 ability. Secondly, you should update her ISO weight, and that pretty much goes for everyone in the heroic battle. The only exception to that may be Hercules, and we'll see how you beat that one in the next video, which will come out very shortly after this one's uploaded. Now as we go into this battle, the dialogue between MODOK and Spider-Woman is pretty funny. But this is the second dialogue. This was at least my second time defeating him. It may have even been my third. I do know that the first time it worked out, but I didn't know exactly what I was doing. At this point, I knew pretty much exactly how to go about this encounter, even though it does seem like my health gets pretty low. So I'm going to go ahead and explain this to you, and then kind of tell you how you could do it slightly differently. But the very first thing you want to do with Spider-Woman is use her level 9 ability. We got kind of unlucky and we have Mental Anguish, but we're going to use her level 9 anyway, and you'll see why. Once you use Fear Pheromones, his minions will go ahead and heal you rather than harming you. So we're going to take this Mental Anguish damage, then they're going to heal us back up. So watch and see what happens on their turn. They hit us with the Probiotic Spray, and that heals us up close to full. You'll notice that we didn't use Vengeance, and the reason is because you'll end up counterattacking his minions, and you'll kill them even though they're healing you. So you'll probably want to wait to use Vengeance. After 2 rounds it will wear off them and they will start doing damage to you. Meanwhile, you'll have to wait another round to cast your level 9 again. But you should be fine, especially if you have updated ISO 8. So there they go, they're doing damage this time. But once it becomes Spider-Woman's turn again, we're going to use her level 9 a second time. Now where this battle may vary is when you decide to use Vengeance. You'll probably want to use that once you have MODOK down a certain amount of health. So basically, right after you feel comfortable enough, go ahead and use her Vengeance. And that way she will take out the extra minions. And then you can finish off MODOK by himself. But don't do this too early or else they will not heal you. And you'll probably lose. In this battle I may have used it a little early, and so I kind of have a close call at the end. But we decided to go ahead and use it right now, when MODOK has a decent amount of health left. We felt like with the counterattacks and our attack on that turn, we'd be able to take them down pretty quick. With Vengeance on, you usually take out the minions within 2 turns, so that's why you don't want to use it too early in the battle. The other thing that varies in the battles, at least from my experience, is sometimes MODOK can waste more turns than others. And by that I mean, sometimes he'll attack more and sometimes he won't. So I'm not sure what causes that, it may just be luck. I should probably read the enemy's abilities more often. And that's pretty much the biggest tip that I can give to you. Go ahead and mouse over your enemies and see exactly what they say, and that'll help you figure out most things. So at this point in the battle is where I was talking about I do get kind of lucky that he missed. And we're going to go ahead and hit him with our level 2 Venom Blast. And it's not going to be enough to finish him. So once again I get really lucky on the reset Doomsday clock. And this is why I say you may want to go ahead and keep his minions alive, healing you a little bit longer. And make sure you have MODOK really low on health. If you do this correctly, you shouldn't have any problem beating this heroic battle. And then on the roulette we have a chance at the nuclear fuel rod. So let's see if we get it. And instead we got 5 command points. So that's a pretty nice prize. And that's going to be the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helped. The very next video will be part 3 of the heroic battles, and that'll be the end. It's going to feature the battle with Hercules and Thor, and then the Cable and Deadpool battle, which is really interesting and pretty cool. So you definitely don't want to miss that. If you want to make sure you don't miss any videos, and you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you'll definitely stay up to date on all the future videos. After we finish up the last of the heroic battles, we will be featuring both of the epic boss battles from Season 2, Chapter 1. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that. And lastly, I just want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos.